What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me on this very chilly, drizzy Sunday afternoon. It is cold, but recently I made a very costly mistake with my new setup. For those who haven't seen this new setup, I recently made a drastic change all on the inside as well as the exterior. Obviously, this one here is more of an update video on this setup. And one costly mistake I did that I should have just done it from the get-go, but I was like, this should work. And after really using it, I was like, this isn't working. So we're definitely going to be talking about that. So stick around and we'll get started. I hope I don't confuse you in this video. If I do, I am so sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm not good at explaining these types of things because it's not my forte. But one of them, a costly mistake I did with this build is, one, I didn't do my research well enough to know what I was getting myself into. With that, I just kept spending money on parts that I didn't need, or parts that I needed and I didn't want to order them, right? So when I purchased the Harbor Freight reels, right, I bought two of these, one for air and one for, I wanted to convert it into a pressure washer reel. Yes, you can convert it into a pressure washer reel. I've had no issues. I have a 1900 Ryobi PSI pressure washer, and it's doing very, very well on this setup, right? So the costly mistake I did with this setup is I took the previous air hose that came with that reel. I took it all out and I ended up buying this one that I paid like 100, I think like 120 at Northern Tools. And this is a 3/8 hose, pressure washer hose. And this one, the air hoses as well, is a 3/8. Obviously, it's a little bit less heavy, I feel. So I bought this one here, and I gotta tell you, this was a headache to install. I think it's always gonna be a headache for me to install anything because I don't know what I'm doing. So I bought this for 120 at Harbor Freight. Literally, it's brand new. I maybe use it maybe for like 2 weeks max, and then I took it out. Just because I was running into one main problem. Even after I did the trick to this, if you have a reel, right, and maybe your pressure washer hose is not reeling, it's not reeling in quick, it's probably because the trick to it is you got to get that reel and spin it all the way to the back to where it clicks, right, and it locks. And then when you put your hose in there and it starts reeling back in, this thing is gonna reel quick because the springs are ready to go, if that makes sense. So even after I did that, watching Stay Slick video on his conversion, I was still having that issue where even after I released pressure, like, it was just not spinning. And I think the honest issue to that was because this hose is very heavy for that reel. It was doing really well, but honestly, this was a costly mistake. I've spent a lot of money on it already, and it was just a headache, right? So I ended up buying the Yamatic hose, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit and what I think about it, just because it was definitely the best investment I've made so far. So I'm gonna show you guys the Yamatic hose, how it works, how I installed it, and give you guys my honest feedback on it. All right, guys, so this is the Yamatic pressure hose reel. And really quickly, I'm gonna show you how I ended up having set up. One is, obviously, you have to get this, I got this one from Home Depot, that piece where their pressure washer hoses are, and that connects perfectly into this inlet right here, which I think is like 1/4 to 3/8 or something like that, but it fit perfectly on this. Again, I'm not good with this area, so I do apologize, but this piece right there, that metal, this piece right there that connects to the hose, you can get that one from Home Depot. That's where I got it from. I have it connected to this is a hydraulic hose I got made a long time ago, and this one, you will see it come through here, and it connects right into the pressure washer. Again, I have a 1900 Ryobi PSI. I have it gravity fed. I know the kinking, I need to cut this hose because recently I made a change on the pressure washer, so that's why. But I need to cut this hose a little bit more and it'll be good to go, right? So that's how I have it hooked up. This is my air hose reel, right? Same thing. I ended up just buying some fittings and it connects right into my pressure washer. As of now, no issues with none of these connections. The way that my brother-in-law helped me install it, no issues. He did an amazing job with all of this, and I couldn't have done this without him. But anyways, let's get to why we are here, right? This is the Yamatic hose. It has this heating, it has this heat wrap right here. I think it's like a 4 foot or 3 foot. But this here, for those who have pressure, gas pressure washers, you know, sometimes your hose kind of gets on the motor and it can burn, and with that you bust your hose, right? So this one here is to help the heat from burning and coming through. It's like a little heating shield. I have it connected obviously to my nozzle, my pressure washer nozzle here. You will have to buy some parts to, you know, some extra parts, fittings to make it work, but I'm sure you'll get it done better than me probably. So anyways, let me unreel this hose really quick and we'll continue. All right, so the way I did this is pretty much took this whole air hose, that air hose out. I installed this one here. You will have to make like some indentions on this entrance right here because this one right here will not fit, so you have to make an opening right here. But I just use like a wrench or a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pulled it out, and you're gonna be okay, right? So this hose, I have really enjoyed it. It has all these, obviously one, I liked it because it was orange and that's really why I bought it. Obviously the headaches came after I bought it because I didn't have the fittings or nothing for that. But this hose is really nice. I've been using this one here for more than a couple of weeks, and I think there's some reviews out there where they say that this brand doesn't work, but really I think I paid like $40 for this hose, maybe more, I forgot. But I'll be posting a link obviously on this hose if you guys want to check it out. But since I purchased it, I have had no leaks. I think installing this will be a headache because one, you don't have a lot of space to where you're able to make this fitting work, right? So what I was doing, I was literally just putting I was sitting here, and with my legs I was literally like pushing this all the way in as far as I could, and then I was like just shoving it in there and trying to make it fit, right? But it was a headache to install. After installing, my main concern was, crap, I'm about to have a lot of leaks, probably because I didn't do this correctly. But I'm happy to say that there has been no leaks with this so far. So far. You're gonna get about, it's a 50-foot hose, right? And I like it because it's high visibility, right? You can see the orange, and you know, whenever you're working, you know, people can see that you have a hose on the ground, and you know, they won't trip over it. So you get 50 feet of hose on this thing, which I really enjoy. But since I purchased it, I have really enjoyed it. It reels so much better. Going this route with I think it's a 1/4 inch hose, it's a better route than going with a 3/8 hose for your pressure. This one I have had no issues when using it with air, but I was having a lot of issues when using it with pressure. Another thing I have enjoyed about this hose is it doesn't kink. Like, it won't kink, so you can always feel sure that you're gonna have plenty of pressure going through, and this hose will not kink. So I've really enjoyed it. Very flexible, you know, for those who maybe use the Uberflex. Very flexible. I think the rating on this pressure washer hose is like 3,000 psi, and it will do just well. Or actually, no, it says right here 3,200 psi. maximum in 140 degrees, 60 degrees Celsius. Keep away from hot surfaces. Obviously you want to keep this from motors and stuff. But let me show you guys how beautiful this thing reels up. And one thing I like to do whenever I am done for the day, or I'm done washing cars, right? I usually carry a towel with me so that I can grab all the water. So this is what I mean by, you're gonna see, this is just for an example, but I'm gonna reel this out and let it go, and you're gonna see how quickly this thing starts reeling. When you pull this reel all the way to the very back till it clicks, you're gonna get this reaction. Watch, ready? You see how quickly that thing is reeling? That's because the springs are fully they're fully loaded. So whenever you let go, this thing is gonna reel. So if you do get this, make sure you reel it all the way to the back and then install the hose. Just be very careful, because if you touch that reel, that thing will let go. So just be very careful when you're trying to install it. All right, now I'm gonna show you just how smoothly this thing reels up. So once you let go, now it's reeling up how it should. So with this type of hose reel, I think I can literally put 100 feet and your reel would be just perfect. But now I love it because it actually reels in all the way, and it looks less bulky than what I had previously. No complaints really for all the work it's putting, washing cars, pulling it out. I see no damage to the hose yet. I don't see no wear and tear very easily. Sometimes these hoses, you know, you'll know really quickly if you bought something good or if you bought something bad. It'll leak and all that. Obviously, always put Teflon in all your threads just to be safe. I put some Teflon here, Teflon over there, Teflon everywhere, and no leaks, right? Sometimes with the pressure you will build it up, they may leak, but I have not seen that issue here. I can't wait, or I hope I never have to replace this hose, which I will, but that's gonna be tough to remove. So to end this video with the Yamatic pressure hose, I honestly love it, guys. I think I got it at a very fair price, not expensive. If you know how to work with these things, doing this is going to be a breeze. If you don't work on these like I do, there will be trial and error, headaches as well. Lots of back and forth to Home Depot or Lowe's. But at the end, you're going to be very satisfied that it's working, right? And it's doing what you need it to do. My main issue was this was not reeling all the way. So every time I have to stop now, reel it in kind of by my hand, and that was just taking too much time, right? Time is money, but sometimes you're also tired of working that you're like, oh my God, I just want to go, right? So I'm not gonna lie, at one point I literally just shoved the hose right here and I was like, we're good to go, all right? But it just doesn't look professional. It doesn't look clean. A lot of people look at my setup now, they're like, oh my God, I want to see your setup. And I had my hose right there on the side. I was like, oh crap, you know? But with this setup, switching over, if you're planning on buying this type of system, like this air hose reel, and you want to convert it into a pressure washer, save yourself a headache and get you a 1/4 inch pressure hose, and you're gonna be fine. I don't know why I keep trying to say reel. I am so sorry, guys. No complaints on the Harbor Freight hose reels. No complaints. It's done really, really well. Very well built. I like that it has all these spinning tubes here for guiding. It does really well whether I'm pulling it one way or the other way. It does really, really well. No issues with that, guys. So if you've been looking for your next purchase, or maybe you've been eyeing the Yamatic hose, you know, maybe this video kind of helped you guys. Again, there's so many videos out there. I feel like some are leaking, you know, but in my opinion, I've used this and I haven't had that issue, right? And I'm not gonna say user error, because you know it could be a hit or miss. But as far as in my world, or as far as what I need it for, this thing is doing really, really well. No leaks, you know, and that's coming from somebody that I'm not well with hands, or I'm not well with building or doing things like this, but it works. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great week overall. We are literally, it's been drizzling since like Friday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Thursday. I think we are going to be having some major rain mixed with some snow, maybe some sleet. So it's not going to look really nice out here in Dallas for the next couple of days. So I'm going to go into hibernation. So a lot of detailers who follow me on my social platforms, hey, we might be going to Hooters this week or next week. Just kidding, just kidding. I bet my wife is like, no, you're not. But no, I hope you guys have a blessed week. Dallas is about to get pretty wet this week coming up. So, and then we get like maybe 3 days of good weather, and then we got more rain coming in. So February is usually our craziest month, where we literally get rain, snow, sleet, everything, and then it just starts getting better. So hang in there, guys. Hang in there, detailers from Dallas. Hang in there. It's almost over. Anyways, you guys have a blessed Sunday, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. As always, I will be catching you guys on the next video.